So as I scroll through my YouTube feed, a lot of people making claims that we could see the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4s restocking. The only issue is, unfortunately, I'm not really seeing any evidence to back up these claims. But hey, I wouldn't be mad if they were to restock these. This is a shoe which a lot of people will call a sneaker of the year. I know we've had some recent drops such as the undefeated 4s and all that, but let's give those a little bit of time to marinate. Earlier this year, this is the ones that a lot of people were saying best shoe of the year. And I get it, you know, you have the storytelling, the beautiful shade of red. In person, these joints go crazy. People rave about the quality. You got the Bike Air, the remix of the Nike Air on the back. So it all kind of comes together to create a dope sneaker. And if they were to restock these, I mean, that would be a good look because ain't nobody trying to pay resale prices on these, which it looks like a sneaker, which I guess would have retailed for what, $230? Now selling on apps like StockX and my size for like over $600, which that's wild. You guys already know. And then if you head over to the Go app, prices are even more crazy. So if they were to potentially restock these, I mean, that would be a great look. Plus, when you talk about Nigel Sylvester and his trajectory, his career with Jordan Brand, when you think about Jordan Brand, like you got, of course, MJ, you know, the GOAT, Hall of Famer, basketball legend, arguably greatest basketball player of all time. You got people like Travis Scott, rapper, who brings like the whole hype crowd and everything like that. The limited sneakers, which go crazy in resale value. And then you got somebody like Nigel Sylvester, which again, he does have the athletic background like MJ with the whole BMX background and all that. He's got the dope storytelling with his releases. And he just kind of comes off as a little more authentic, whereas somebody like Travis Scott kind of feels like he's almost lost touch with just the regular everyday people. So I think with Nigel Sylvester and his athletic BMX background, you know, his authenticity, it's a recipe for success with Jordan Brand. And coming soon, he's got the new Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1 lows on the way. So let's go ahead and check out the trailer for this latest upcoming Bike Air release. So visuals looking crazy. Now there is a record by A$AP Ferg, which I ain't gonna lie, like if we're being all the way real, the song is kind of trash. We're not gonna play it right here for copyright purposes, but you guys can check it out. So visuals going crazy as usual. This is kind of the normal rollout that we're used to when we talk about Nigel Sylvester releases. Low key, these visuals kind of like almost remind me of like something like your boy Ashton Hall right here. Like maybe they got the same like cameraman or something. Like, look, bruh, same type of zoomed in visuals, Bike Air. I'm just playing, but you guys already know what time it is. Everybody loves Nigel Sylvester. Now, when you talk about these sneakers, these Jordan 1 lows, it kind of feels like we're getting a different reaction when compared to those brick by bricks. I mean, look at these joints right here, right? These are the Better With Times Jordan 1 lows. They got the pre-aged scuffs on there, the vintage, aged piss yellow soles. People aren't too really fond of these, like off the first impressions. It seems like when you talk about the pre-aged look, it just kind of feels like people are off that. Plus, when you got the colorway, it's got a Chicago theme to it, but it's not really doing anything to kind of like jump out, if you guys know what I'm saying. But I feel like these are still solid. You still got the additional Bike Air elements featured here present. I think the scuffs and the pre-aged look all kind of come together to you know, play a part on the storytelling. I think these aren't bad. And then with the additional red laces, I think that's that pop of color, you know, that little extra finesse that people were kind of missing with that. So I think that's an element that may attract some more people, the alternate additional red laces versus the sail laces, I guess, or white laces that are present with this shoe. But not a bad release, but I just feel like it's not bringing in that same hype that we saw with the brick by bricks. But let's just be honest, y'all, with the promo visuals, just the hype and anticipation, just the name Nigel Sylvester, I think that's enough to sell these sneakers. But let's not forget, he does have another pair of Jordan 4s loaded up, scheduled to drop coming up next year, which on top of all of this, Nigel Sylvester was the cover athlete or cover of Footwear News. He did a little write-up with them, wearing some crazy kind of fits right here. But there was some interesting things that I do want to mention when you talk about this article right here. So he said the new sneaker is something that people have been asking for years now. So I'm happy that we're finally delivering on that and get to dive back into the Air Jordan 1 story that started my journey with Jordan Brand. So that's kind of interesting. You know, he's talking about people have been asking for these for years, but the only issue is that trends change so much and people's interests change so often that if they've been asking for something for years, maybe you should have dropped them years back, and people have moved on to different things now. So these are set to drop coming up August 16th for $160 for a pair of Jordan 1 lows. The Better With Time is now a full circle moment for Sylvester, but part of Jordan Brand's anniversary festivities. So that would make sense, of course, with the 40th anniversary, the Jordan 1, which started it all off. Now we have the low top version. On top of that, it's also a collab. So it's almost like a full circle moment when you talk about like the Jordan 1, which dropped back in '85, to the new updated version, the more hype version of the Jordan 1 low, which we now see here in 2025. So it does also continue on to say, while 2025 has been a banner year for Sylvester's Jordan Brand partnership, in 2024, it was filled with its first of its very own. So that's the year that they selected Nigel to actually be the one to introduce the Jordan 4 RM, a lower cut, more durable version, they're saying, of Jordan's classic 4 signature sneaker, intended for bike riding or just everyday wear. So with that sneaker, of course, they did replace the heel with the Bike Air emblem, and Jordan Brand told Footwear News that the Bike Air branding takes the label to new places and helps it serve communities by tapping into the global culture of bicycle riding. So that's the cool corporate answer and everything. That sounds sweet and all that. But as we continue on here, the Jordan 4M, it was a success. I would say it definitely generated a lot of buzz around a new model, which then kind of opened the door for Nigel Sylvester to kind of do his own thing, which he says, quote, "It was an amazing opportunity and allowed me an even bigger runway to do things that we're doing right now." So he's talking about basically with him having the RM being a successful new silhouette that opened the door, for him to do bigger things with these Jordan 1s now and the Jordan 4s that we just saw drop earlier this year. Exactly what I said. So when you talk about the brick by bricks, this is a sneaker again, which a lot of people would say sneaker of the year. So for them to restock that would be dope. Ronnie Fig, who's been a big fan of Nigel Sylvester as well as a friend for over 15 years, he said early on this was the sneaker of the year. So what do you guys think about that? Brick by bricks? Would y'all classify these joints right here as the sneaker of the year? I mean, these have been heavily praised. Earlier this year, people said these went crazy in person. They look dope. Quality materials, storytelling and all that. I know we did have the Undefeated 4s just drop. Some also other dope Jordan releases throughout the year. Reimagine. Black Metallic 5s were dope as well. So where would you guys classify these as sneaker of the year? And as Nigel Sylvester and Jordan Brand's partnership continues to grow, he's now proven that he's one of the bigger faces at the brand. But let's just hope that he still is able to maintain that authenticity and doesn't really lose that connection that he has kind of with just the everyday average sneakerhead, like when you compare someone to like Travis Scott. But I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, with these new fits that our boy Nigel's pulling off here for this cover shoot, I mean, with the hand pose and all that, it looks like he may kind of be going down that lane, which, I mean, everybody's just human and everybody got to continue to expand. But Nigel, don't forget those roots, man. The people in the trenches, the BMXers, just the everyday people that were rocking with you, man. Don't forget, it looks like our boy's makeup down right here in this picture. So don't go too crazy with these wild fits right here, Nigel, and just remain yourself and you'll be just fine. So let me know what y'all think, man. Do you guys feel like these could potentially restock, like everybody's suggesting, with the big thumbnails looking like, or do you guys feel like there's no chance that these could potentially drop? Anyways, we do have the Nigel Jordan 1 lows set to release coming up here very soon, in a matter of, I guess, a couple of weeks or so. You guys rocking with these? I know the early impressions were that everybody hated these, but now that we're getting a little closer to the release date, we now have the promo visuals. Nigel, he's doing this little press run. Do you guys feel like this shoe's kind of grown on you a little bit? What do y'all think about those alternate red laces? I feel like they bring that nice little pop of color, which really sets these off. So I think these are a dope release. As good as the brick by bricks? Probably not, but at the end of the day, these are all just opinions and they're subjective. So enough rambling from me. I would love to know what you guys think. Jump in the comments, drop your feedback, JATV. That's all I got for you guys today. So until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love, salute.